Okay, I would like to call to order the August 11th, 2021 regular meeting of the Monee Village Board of Trustees, 6:32. If I could please ask Pastor Joe DeCenzo from Second Place Church to come up for the invocation.
Thank you, Mayor, and everyone here. Let's pray. Lord, we pray a blessing over the village of Monee tonight. Whatever happened in the past does not define this town's future. Instead, we look to you to write the next chapter, and we declare that it is good because of how you are working in and through the leaders in Monee. Because of you, we can be confident of this, that when we choose to put you first in our town, everything we need to thrive is deposited into our account. Unity, productivity, and favor that goes beyond our limited skill and ambition. And as we dedicate the work of our hands to the greater good of this town, we pray that you would inspire us to be creative and find new and better ways to work together so that Monee is an incredible place to live, work, play, raise a family, and worship. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please, Donisha.
Trustee Gonzalez. Here. Trustee Horn. Here. Trustee Razik.
Present.
Trustee Rakis. Present. Trustee Wilson.
Present.
Trustee Udris.
Present.
Thank you. Open to the public, agenda items only, please. Moving on to the consent agenda. Can I please have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Rakis. Yes. Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez. Yes.
Thank you. Clerk's report, please.
Thank you, Mayor Bogues. Just wanted to give an update. The census information has started rolling out, and so by the next meeting, I'll be able to provide some more information in the report.
Perfect, thank you. I do not have a report tonight, so we'll move on to the administrator's report. Ruben, please.
Thank you, Mayor. First item under my report is Professional Services Agreement, Preliminary Study, Anti-Degradation Analysis. Over the past year, the Village of Monee has been researching the idea of building and maintaining its own wastewater treatment plant. One of the preliminary steps in this process would be to conduct an anti-degradation analysis, often imposed on wastewater treatment plants for permit renewals. However, this study would provide insights into the current creek corridor conditions for a potential new wastewater treatment site or sites. Please note that a full anti-degradation analysis needs to be completed during late spring, summer, or early fall due to the field work that's required. To that end, village staff and Robinson engineers propose the following scope of services by Hay and Associates. Number one, assemble and interpret pertinent publicly available information on recent biological surveys and water quality for the project reach of public tributaries. Review available effluent water quality data for relevant parameters provided by Aqua Illinois. Number three, conduct a field reconnaissance of the general project area to document general ecological conditions of local tributaries and its flood banks. Number four, prepare a summary report that documents current in-stream conditions and a preliminary assessment of potential future regulatory hurdles when pursuing a new wastewater treatment plant. Number five, the study would include 2 meetings with village staff and Robinson Engineering. And 6, findings would be submitted to the village and Robinson Engineering within 90 days of board approval. To this request, it's to enter into a professional services contract with Hay & Associates, Inc. to conduct a preliminary study in the amount of $10,000 and 0 cents. The action requested is a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a professional services contract with Hay & Associates to conduct a preliminary study in the amount of $10,000 and 0 cents.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion on that?
Just a few comments on this. We've been working on this process since last September with engineering and our two administrations that we've had. And we've gone as far as we can in the process. And this is the next step in going down this path. And, of course, doing our due diligence to make sure that this indeed is certainly cost-effective for the village, but also for us to be able to control our own water costs and not be beholden to any other outside company.
Just a question too, and Doug, I know you've been a part of this, and Ruben, can you tell me about Hay and Associates? Is this somebody that was recommended to us, and how do we find this firm from Volo?
Yes, that is correct. They were recommended, come highly regarded. Robinson Engineering were the ones that have worked before in the past with them, and were recommended to the village.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Thank you, Board. Last item under my report is subject is to hire one full-time Parks and Recreation employee. The Parks and Recreation Director is requesting to hire one full-time employee that is currently employed by the village as a part-time worker. In recent months, the Parks and Recreation Department has increased its programs and overall hours of service to the community. In order to meet all the demands outlined in the recent Village of Monee Parks and Recreation Comprehensive Plan and maintain its dedicated service, the request is to promote that part-time employee to full-time status. This employee would supplement the heavy lifting needed to oversee and provide maintenance to the 4 baseball fields throughout the season, as well as the football field, park building, and concession stands. This employee would ensure that all building matters were properly cared for and communicated to the Parks and Recreation Director. This employee in question has proven himself to be dedicated, hardworking, and has shown an ability to work with minimal supervision. This is a union position, and his salary has been budgeted for this fiscal year. Action requested is a motion to approve the hiring of one full-time Parks and Recreation Department employee.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I think this is long overdue. Anybody that's been to a park program has watched Diana running around like crazy where she should have been supervising and watching over, and she was having to do, all the other stuff that needed to be done. So fully support this, and like I said, long overdue.
Yes, I'd just like to add, being on Parks and Recreation during that time, watching firsthand Diana have it to multitask, which she's excellent at. She definitely needs help. And this plan was developed over a year ago, but COVID kind of set that back, and the necessity was no longer there. We're there now. Everything's opening back up, and things are moving forward, and she definitely needs that help and that assistance to facilitate all her needs. And that's just the tip of the iceberg to make her life a little bit more palatable.
All right, can I
I
have
would like to add that I totally agree with both of you, and I think you do a great job, Diana, so thank you.
Okay, can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Thank you. Now moving on to the officials' reports. Public Works, Trustee Horn.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We have a full agenda for you tonight. First of all is our 2021 roadway maintenance, drainage, and water main project. Davis Concrete has begun saw cutting curbs and sidewalks to be replaced, removal of which is scheduled to occur next week. And by the way, that's happening all over town. That's not just on one or two streets. That's all over town. For those looking for more details, a project overview is on our website, villageofmonee.org, where updates will be posted as they become available. Court Street is pretty much completed. There's a few driveway aprons still being worked on, and it looks like they've been doing most of the striping. It looks like that was, I know it was working on it this morning, and it was pretty much done this tonight. Robinson's working with the village, inspecting the finished work and creating a punch list of any areas of concern. And then our Industrial Drive project, the underground work is substantially completed. Sewer mains and manholes are undergoing quality testing, and temporary pumping equipment has been installed in the new lift station. This will maintain the station's functionality while permanent equipment is being fabricated. We also have branch pickup that is scheduled again for Wednesday and Thursday, September 1st and 2nd. So just in time, you can spruce up your lawn for Fall Fair. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about Orchard Trail, and maybe Scott, you may want to chime in here too, give your 2 cents, but I noticed, and thank you for bring Ed and you for bringing this to my attention, that the work, I guess would be more, what would be called, the finishing work has all but stopped. Is that, can you go into that a little bit? Talk about that, please.
Well, after the last meeting, there was a punch list that was put together with NICOR along with Ed, and rather lengthy one. Far as I can tell, maybe 2 or 3 items on that punch list have been completed. There still is a hole in the street where there was some cave-in from where the road was compromised from their digging. The parkways are still left uneven, weeds, clumps where they just threw down some seed and a little bit of straw over it that they had said, oh no, don't worry, we're going to come by, we're going to level it all out in fresh black dirt, and none of that has happened. 2 of the aprons, driveway aprons that were damaged with their digging and boring have been replaced. The rest of them, which is almost every apron from where they started at Oak Street all the way down to where they finished by the park, have been left with speed bumps on their aprons where they've bulged the blacktop, and have not seen, talking to the neighbors, because they're around during the day, I'm not, they have not seen workers out there in weeks doing anything to get this done.
So the last punch list that was published and communicated to NICOR was on July 27th. The wording and the reply was, we'll get back to you. Well, so what I'd like us to do is get back to them. So for trustees or anyone listening in the village, if you'd like to contact the people in charge of this, one would be David Serena. That's spelled S-U-R-I-N-A, Dave Serena. He's the regional manager of community affairs. And his phone number, his cell phone is 815-272-9283. That would be 815-272-9283. And then the supervisor of construction operations is Dan Bach, Daniel Bach, and his number is 630-606-3335. And I don't think you need to be confrontational or nasty or on the when you call them. Just say, hey, we would like our roads finished and the cosmetic aspects finished. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Horn. Moving on to Parks and Recreation, Trustee Gonzalez.
I do have a report tonight, Ms. Mayor, but I will, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Diana for everything that she does. And again, having at least one more person is more than overdue, and between you and Allison, you are doing the heavy lifting yourself. So having at least one more person will certainly go a long way here. And the rest of the report is all about Monee Fall Fest. This year, again, the weekend after Labor Day is always been Monee Fall Fest. This year, September 10th through 12th, with bands, the beer tent, carnival rides, the parade, the car show, vendor show, food vendors, fireworks, pancake breakfast, grand opening of the Monee Heritage Center, our first responders tribute, bagpipes, and more. So I will dare say, not having it last year, that it has fired us up more than ever, and we definitely want to do the bigger and better and the best Monee Fall Fest that we've ever had. And to make this happen, we're going to need dozens more volunteers. Diana and I have been signing people up for the ones who want to volunteer, and we have an extensive list of shifts available. Anything to your preference, anywhere, from being security to wearing a cool shirt and great seats for the fireworks, monitoring the beer tent, make sure beer doesn't leave the tent and things. So it's a great weekend to come and celebrate all of everything that is Monee, but we do need your help. So please contact Diana, or on my trustee page, there is a number listed, dcroll@villageofmonee.org. End of report.
Thank you. Finance, Trustee Rakis.
Many software changes are happening within the village. As stated previously, the village is in the process of migrating to different software and streamlining processes. Currently, the finance department has migrated its accounts payable, general ledger, and payroll to new software. Within the next couple of weeks, the building department module, along with others, will also be migrated over. Please keep an eye out for the new ways of making payments to the village. In weeks to come, the village will offer various payments options as well as email billing. Upcoming items is TIF reporting, treasurer's report due in October, and the FY21 audit. End of report.
Thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. No new business licenses have been issued. Talks with LFI and Seafried are continuing in reference commercial development on the west end of town. I would just like to take this time to encourage everyone to come out to the farmers market, which is going to be September. The next farmers market is September 12th through 13th, which is also coincides with our Fall Fest. You say, what's so special about our farmers market, right? Well, you're just going to have to come out and find out. It's not, right now, because it's the time of season, you're not going to get so much of the fresh produce, but you're going to get a host of vendors, local and within the region. You're going to be really surprised at what you find out there. There's a lot of good finds. I was very impressed. So I'd just like to encourage everyone to come out and participate in the next farmers market, Fall Fest weekend, right here in our Fireman's Park. End of report, Mayor.
Building Services, Trustee Bracek.
All right, I have a couple things tonight. 50 permits were issued in the month of June for a value of $697,331, and 32 homes went on the market and were scheduled for resale inspections. In July, 32 permits were issued at a value of $661,791. 18 homes went on the market and were scheduled for resale inspections. Also, please note, rental licenses were due by July 1st and are now considered past due. If you have not yet submitted the renewal and require fees, please do so promptly. And lastly, the Village of Monee and Building Services Department would like to thank all homeowners, businesses, and property owners for their efforts in maintaining their properties to ensure all structures are safe and properties are well maintained. End of report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Trustee Udris.
Thank you, Mayor. For EMA, the only report from EMA is that they are busy preparing for Fall Fest to make sure everybody has a safe time out there. From our police department, last Friday, August 20th, the Special Olympics Coffee for Champions fundraiser was held at our local Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee for Champions fundraiser is held annually for the Illinois Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics. And once again, Monee outdid itself, donating $4,500 to the Olympians. So a special thanks to all the volunteers, the Duncan crew, and to the community for coming out and showing their support. End of report.
Thank you. Moving on to the attorney's report, Larry.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items for the board's consideration. The first item, bid to purchase real estate. I think we're going to executive session tonight, and after that we can talk about the property. I did receive an appraisal, and I'll indicate that in executive session. The next item would be ordinance selling real estate. This is the property, on I think it's Industrial Cleveland. There's a little square that we own over there. If we can table this, we haven't received the bids, but it did go out for publication like we're supposed to pursuant to state law, but if we can table this at the next board meeting, Mayor.
Can I have a motion to table, please?
I'll make a motion to table it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item for the board's consideration, if the board recalls, the village purchased property in 2020 from Monee Industrial Land Group. I think it was 41 acres. That's on Governor's Highway and Industrial Drive. We received a tax credit at closing. It was 42 acres, but we do, pursuant to reparation agreement, the village owes MIL, which is the LLC, the amount of $4,238.18. They paid the entire tax bill, meaning the seller. Now, this is the proration that we had to submit back to Monee Industrial Land Group.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item for the board's consideration is an ordinance establishing park recreation, acreage for park and recreation purposes. It's up for the board's review and approval.
Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
No, second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? 1986.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item for the board's consideration, and the same idea, is an ordinance amending Title 11, Chapter 1, Section 3 of the Village Code relative to park and recreation requirements.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
1987.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last item I have under my, my portion of the agenda is authorization for the mayor to execute the OSLED grant program with respect to our efforts to securing funds. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just to, for the public's edification, OSLAD in this case stands for Open Space Lands Acquisition and Development. So my understanding is this is to pave the way for us to acquire and improve our parks around town. Would that be an accurate way of saying that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This is, I'd just like to add that part of the process of going through the Parks and Recreation Comprehensive Plan was in order to get to this place that we can start applying for grants, and that we have that plan intact, which was a requirement for seeking approval for these grants. So it's just another rung on the ladder. It's part of the steps. It's seeking funds besides the villages to get compensation to make the necessary repairs, especially for our football, baseball, and Parks and Rec. So definitely well overdue.
So, and again, and after talking to Diana today too, and knowing what the OSLED grant can provide, and knowing how much one we can receive, but, and I encourage, this is just one grant that we can apply for this, you know, the grand plan that we have, and not to stop at this. And I know this will help us along the way and make, you know, huge inroads in our grand scheme of things. So thank you for doing this too.
Okay, can I have roll call, please?
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Okay, any old business?
I'm sorry. I know Mr. Rose and Dave are here tonight from LFI. I think they'll want to make a brief statement to the board. If the board recalls, they are looking to, I believe Ms. Menzo last time at the board meeting came up to make a presentation to the board. This is with respect to the property that they are looking to place Holland Manufacturing. So they want to make a brief statement tonight and get some direction from the board. Thank you, Mayor. Did I say that right, Mr. Rose and Dave?
Good evening. My name is David Henney. I'm with LFI, as Larry stated. And we've been in conversation with the administrator and the village attorney regarding our pursuit of the Holland LP relocation from University Park. They also have an office in Crete, and they want to combine those operations into one building under one roof. And the process, it's an RFP process where we are bidding against other developers, one of which is has property in Monee, as I'm sure you all know. And as a part of that process, the exercise that we've been going through with Holland and internally is evaluating the opportunity for tax increment financing for the property, which is the southeast corner of Monee, Manhattan, and Ridgeland Avenue. And it's 37 acres. The portion that Holland would be on is about the south 21 acres of those 37 acres. And we're moving along with them. We've found out that we continue to be under consideration. They've eliminated some of the bidders. They haven't told us who. They want us to all stay sharp and aggressive, which is something that we intend to do. And what we are asking is that the board would consider an 80% reimbursement on the taxes for the incremental taxes. The village taxes there are really just a couple $100s a year right now. With the development that will go there, which is close to a $30 million investment, obviously those taxes will increase substantially, and there'll be quite a few TIF eligible costs, which we're in the process of generating. We'll be sharing with village staff shortly. So we just ask for the direction to the staff to engage us in that manner, and we promise, as we have done in other developments within the community, that we'll work very forthright with them and quickly so that we can maintain our position with Holland, so that we put ourselves and Monee in the best position to win this development. And this use, which is a very stable business that's been around for nearly 100 years. And I had the opportunity to tour their facility. It's a pretty impressive place, even though it's aging. And the work that they do is really impressive. And the jobs that they have under their roof are certainly stable ones that will be accretive to the community. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
One question I've got, having driven down Central numerous times and seeing their building down there, what steps do you have in the plans or thoughts to make this building look presentable from the street? Driving down Central, their parking lot is filled with parts and Connex boxes and everything else, and I don't think that's a site that we would really like to see, right on Manhattan Monee Road. So is that being taken under consideration in the plans?
Absolutely, and there is a concerted effort on the part of Holland to create a more attractive site. It'll be a new building that's a building that's probably a good 50-plus years old. And if you've ever moved out of an old house, there's stuff that you acquire over time that you don't get rid of until it's time to move. And I think that's maybe what's happened there. But the plan is for them to, once they hopefully come to our site, There'll be substantially more landscaping, which they have about none where they're at right now. Yeah, if you want to call that landscaping. And to just run a tidier operation than they had in the past. They'll also be incorporating the administrative side of their business into that site. So, with having office workers with the industrial operation, I think there'll be a focus on creating a much nicer environment. And there's certain elements that they've asked to be included in the site that will be exterior amenities so that their employees can, enjoy fresh air at break time, lunchtime, and even have meetings that are appropriate to have outside.
I have been a part of the Holland improvement site on Crete, that's kind of off the beaten path too, and what they did in the landscaping there in restoring an old wetlands into an outdoor amenities for their employees as well. Have you been back there and seen what they had done or, had worked on? Gosh, it's been probably about 10 years now.
I have
For
not, but
with a walking path and, almost a mile-long walking path and improvements and benches and things just for their employees. I think, I'm sure that's probably what you were talking about, with the outdoor plan, but being part of that Crete facility is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Dave, Trustee Wilson over here. I know through previous conversations, it was brought up they've kind of overgrown their facility. Combining the two, do they have room for growth within this new facility? Because I think part of the problem with the Connex boxes and things outside was brought up that they were running out of space. So do you think that with this new building that eliminate that? And what's the growth potential? Do they have expansion room built into this new facility?
Well, this building is about, I want to say 15% or so bigger than where they're at right now. And as I mentioned, it's 21 of our 37 acres. And we haven't finalized exactly where the property line will go. So if there's a desire to have an expansion area, we can certainly tackle that now with them. And the plan is at least from the outset, the lease is anticipated to be 15 to 20 years. So this is a long-term play for them, as you might guess. And we're happy to accommodate them because as they're able to expand, then that's obviously something that would be good for us as well and for the community at large.
Thank you.
You are requesting the board to be authorizing staff to proceed with negotiations, correct?
Yes, please.
And you're asking almost the same terms as Northern, right? To the penny practically.
The terms as I understand them,
Okay.
which is 80% increment.
They agreed to 20. I'm just kidding. No, it's not, we're still negotiating, sir. That's
So-
why we couldn't respond. We're still negotiating. The mayor and the board have not seen the agreement, but we understand exactly where you're coming from.
And as far as some of the other points that we had discussed in the past, non-interest bearing on the TIF expenses, and there was concern about potential, potential vacancy in the building, and that there wouldn't be payments if there wasn't a lease in place. And given the nature of this deal, it's a build-to-suit. We're not building a building for anybody other than Holland. If they elect to not do the deal with us, then we'll continue on to search for another user. So we have no reservations with that point whatsoever.
Just one comment here. Is this your letter? Can you tell if this was written by your team?
That is from Seafried, from Dave Reefy. We share
Okay.
the same first name, but
Okay,
he's a gentleman who we're working with on the other property.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions of Dave here? Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Appreciate the information. Appreciate your time.
Likewise, thank you.
Can I ask for a consensus then to continue with moving forward with TIF agreement and discussion with Dave and Mike?
Yes.
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 Any new business? Open to the public, non-agenda items. Okay.
Might as well take the opportunity. So Fall Fest, we have the Monee Alliance of Churches that's going to be having a combined service Sunday morning at 11. Prior to that, we'll have pancake, breakfast, sausage, orange juice, coffee. And I just want to say, it's not normal to have churches working together in a community. And so I just kind of want to highlight that, because the more that I talk to others and, connect with other communities and just even people in town, they're like, wait a minute, you're doing something together? Yeah. And so I just want to celebrate that for a moment and invite you all to come out that morning, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you.
Can I say one thing to that, too?
Thank you.
Since you guys are such a volunteer force anyway, can I ask for some people to call in and?
I've already been texting Kelly, and so we're on it, all right? So we're going to have some names, yes.
I just had one other comment about that, because I've been tangentially involved in that. But from what I understand, at this service, there's 4 pastors preaching 6 minutes each. Well, that's not going to happen. I know enough preachers. But, if you don't have a church home, you can visit 4 churches literally in one hour session, right?
Yep.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay, moving on to executive session for item 1, 5 ILCS 120-2C1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee. Item 2, 765 ILCS 10-0.01, sales and real estate contracts. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
All right, if I can call back to order the August 25th, 2020 regular meeting, 8:01. Roll call.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Here.
Wait, I'm sorry, we could have a motion to open.
Oh, a motion to open.
Thank you, thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Present.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Present.
Okay, action to be taken regarding executive session matters. I'm looking for a motion, please, for Larry to prepare a proposal for the purchase of real estate located at 5510 West Court Street.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Thank you. And may I ask the board, please, for a motion to approve a one-time $5,000 stipend for Michelle Powell?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
And last item, I request the board for a motion to approve the position of executive assistant to the Department of Public Works Superintendent with a starting salary of $50,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that motion. For a second.
Is there a second?
Second?
Wait a second.
Second. Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn? Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Rakis?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you.